Hello, it's Sonia here with The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today is Wednesday, and that means it's the Stitch of the Week. So for today's stitch, I am using my eye hook, or 5.5 millimeter, and this is another hook that belonged to my great-grandmother, so another special one. It's a boy hook, so pretty old, but it's, I love boy hooks. They are my absolute favorites, but certainly, feel free to use whatever hook you would like. Brand or size. This stitch would work well with a variety of hook sizes and yarn types. So for this example or swatch, I'm using just basic number 4 worsted weight yarn. It might be Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. I'm not 100% sure on that one. All right, so to do this stitch, this is going to be a mesh stitch, but it's like a mesh shell stitch, and it's super easy and very, very pretty. All right, so to get started with this stitch, you are going to need to chain a multiple of 5 plus 1, but I'm going to chain 15, so you want to have a little bit of a longer chain to really be able to see the stitch. So we're going to chain 15 and then add 1, so we're chaining 16. So 5 times 3 is 15, then you add 1, 16. All right, so we have our 16 chains, so let's get started for row 1. So we are going to skip 5 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then your next chain, your 6th chain, we're going to work a double crochet. So I've already got my yarn over there. We're just going to work that double crochet. So what this is going to consist of is a double crochet and a chain 2 space. So all these chains that we skipped. Okay, so I've got my yarn over going, so we're going to be working some more double crochet stitches. You're going to skip 4 chains, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in your next chain you're going to work a double crochet. We're going to chain 2, double crochet, there, we keep that on there. Chain 2 and double crochet, all in that same chain. So what we're creating here is like a mesh shell there. So you can kind of see shell stitch is usually curved because it looks like a shell. And we are already at the end of our chain here. So what you're going to want to do is we're going to skip 4 and then we're going to create this same double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Now if you had a much longer chain, what you would want to do is you would want to continue to skip 4 chains and you would work this mesh shell. So you would work your double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. But we're already at the end of our row here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So on your very last stitch, I am working a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and we've got our row 1 all set. So your swatch might look different, so you might have a couple more shells in there. Okay, so let's get ready for row 2. So we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. So you're going to single crochet right in that same stitch. So now we're going to chain 4, keep your loop on your hook. I don't know why we're having some problems today. So we've got our 4 chains and we're going to skip this next double crochet and this next double crochet, and we're going to work in the center double crochet of our mesh shell. So you're going to work a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet right in that same stitch. So you're creating a little loop there. So there it is. And we're going to chain 4. Now, as I said before, if you had a longer chain, what you will do is you are going to continue across where you would skip the next 2 double crochet, and then in that center one you would work your single crochet, chain 3 single crochet. You'd be creating all of your little loops in the center stitch of your mesh shell. But we are already at the end of our row here. So what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet on top of our chain 3. We need to create the double crochet, chain 2, double crochet here. So I usually like to count from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm working right in that chain there. So now we have created, this is our double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, just like we did over here. So let's get ready for row 3. So we are going to chain 5 and turn our work. And focus, thank you. Okay, so we are going to double crochet right in this same stitch. So we are again creating a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So you're going to skip this chain 4, and in our little loop that we made here, we're going to work our double crochet, our mesh shell here. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So this is a really easy, pretty, it's like a lacy stitch pattern. So really would be nice for those lacier projects, but not one you have to think too hard about. So if you had more of these little loops here, your chain 3 loops, you would continue across your swatch by working your double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in those loops. We are already at the end of our row here. So in our last stitch here, which is our single crochet, you're going to work your double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. And so there we go, row 3 is complete. So we're going to get ready for row 4. Okay, so for row 4, you are going to chain 1 and turn your work. We're going to work a single crochet right in that same stitch. And we are going to chain 4. This hook doesn't like me. This is the first time I'm using this hook. I'm not sure what's going on. All right, so we're going to chain 4, and we're going to skip these 2 double crochet, 1, 2, and in your center double crochet, we're going to work that little loop again. So you're going to work your single crochet, chain 3, single crochet right in that stitch, making that little loop, and we're going to chain 4. So if you had a lot more of these mesh shell stitches, then you would be creating more of those chain 3 loops, but we are already at the end of our row. So what you're going to want to do, we need to make this into a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So I'm counting my chains from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, and working that single crochet in that last chain. And there is row 4. So for this stitch pattern, you will need to repeat rows 3 and 4. So very, very easy. So rows 1 and 2 were the setups, and then row 3 and 4 is the repeat here. So for row 3, you're going to chain 5 and turn your work. Work your double crochet right in that same stitch. And then we're working our mesh shell here right in that chain 3 loop. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and you would just keep going across if you had more. And I'm already at the end of my row. In my last stitch, I'm working my double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So super fast, easy, but it looks really, really pretty. And so then I'm going to repeat row 4. So chain 1, turn my work, single crochet right in that same stitch. We're going to chain 4 and get right to that center double crochet of our mesh shell, working our little loops, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, and chaining 4. And then you would work in however many loops that you would have, and when you get to the end, and you're just going to work on top of that chain 3, work your single crochet. And repeat rows 3 and 4. So I'm going to work a couple more rows, and for this stitch pattern you could end on row 3, you could end on row 4, it just depends on what you're making, and definitely a nice reversible stitch. So I'm going to work a few more rows so you can see a larger swatch, and I'll meet you back. Alright, so I'm back here. So I ended up working 11 rows, so I ended on a row 3, and as you can see here, and it took me no time at all to work this up, definitely a reversible stitch, which is really nice. So it makes it pretty versatile for certain projects, like if you wanted to make a lacy scarf or a wrap or a shawl. You know, you don't have to worry about a right or wrong side. Or even if you really wanted just a nice lightweight blanket, if you lived in a much warmer climate but you still like to have a blanket but you don't want to be, you know, super hot, this might be a really nice stitch for that. So I hope you enjoyed this stitch of the week, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.